Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator, actively alienating everyone, in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. I will definitely bring you happiness. That's the one thing I can promise you with certainty. I just can't wait to see how it will ripen. The gold butterflies do not swoop upon the juice of overripe and rotting fruit. I cannot wait for the day of harvest to come. Is the time of the banquet here yet? Cackle, cackle, haha. How is everyone doing today? I love Christmas, even though it's about a month away. It's November 30th right now. I also love my mom and I love America. But yeah. I'll put a couple music albums in the description down below. Top one will have to do with Christmas. Just thought I'd want to share some good music with everyone, and even though it's very early for it, it's still November. I just wanted to tell everybody, Merry Christmas. They had eaten breakfast at a coffee shop in the station building. By chance, the inside of the shop had been decorated with Halloween colors since it was October. Maria had seemed to be awfully pleased with that. For quite some time, she talked loudly inside the train about wanting to have a Halloween festival without caring what she was attracting the attention of others. Halloween is popular in Europe and America, but people aren't that familiar with it in Japan. The shopping district was colorfully decorated with orange pumpkins, but the costume parades of children demanding sweets and saying trick-or-treat were nowhere in sight. Ooh, I want a Halloween festival. I don't want to wear these clothes. I want to look like a witch. Ooh. The family conference isn't for playing. We're going to meet grandfathers, so you have to dress up nice. While it wasn't completely full inside the train, it was really packed with almost all the seats occupied by passengers. Maria was making a fuss among them, stomping her feet on the seat, while Rosa scowled at her. Rosa had warned her many times to lower her voice, but Maria hadn't obeyed her at all. Once Maria got like this, no matter how much you tried to explain the situation or calm her, she wouldn't listen. Rosa used to pamper Maria and give in to her at times like this, but that had probably been a mistake. Surely Maria had gained the mistaken impression that throwing a tantrum long enough would make her mother give up and do what Maria said. Rosa had realized that error with the help of an educational book, and since then she had hardened the part of her heart that wanted to pamper her beloved daughter. Her mutual understanding with Maria began to grow weaker and weaker, and she began to get discouraged by her own powerlessness more and more often. Halloween, Halloween. If you don't give me sweets, I'll play a prank. Ooh. I don't have any sweets to give you. You just ate breakfast. If you don't give me sweets, I'll play a prank. If you don't give me sweets, I'll play a prank. I'll play a prank, ooh. A stout old woman who was sitting nearby as Maria stomped her feet picked candy out of her handbag and held it out to Maria. Ooh, I got a sweet, I got a sweet. Look, look, Mama, happy Halloween. Hey, Maria, you can't just accept sweets from strangers, right? Give it back. Oh, don't worry about it, ho. She's such a spirited young lady. How old is she? Maybe there was no malice in the old woman's words. However, Rosa seemed to find that remark extremely humiliating. Maria, haven't I already told you not to accept sweets from strangers? Ooh. She gave it to me. Ooh. No, it's mine. Let go of it. How many times do I have to tell you to do what Mama says? It's mine. Ooh. Don't I always tell you not to say ooh? Ooh. Rosa reflexively hit Maria violently on her cheek. In a flash, Maria started crying loudly. Rosa immediately took the candy from Maria's hand and pushed it back towards the dumbfounded old woman sitting next to them. Please, do not just give sweets to my daughter. I'm so sorry. Breathing heavily, Rosa once again held the candy out to the old woman. After getting flustered about what she should say for a few moments, perhaps the old woman realized that her actions may have troubled this parent and child, and she accepted the candy back, apologizing. After that, Rosa finally took notice of her surroundings. Her daughter's clothes were all messed up, and she was crying and shouting with her nose dripping. And there were many dumbfounded passengers watching them. Except for the sound of the train running, the interior was completely silent. Fortunately, that pitiful silence didn't last more than a short while. However, it was followed by an even more painful atmosphere as everyone began to whisper. Maria shouted, cried, kicked, and stomped her feet as usual, paying no heed to the people sitting around her. Impulsively, Rosa tried to slap her again, but she noticed the cold eyes of the people on the train and couldn't. When the train stopped, Rosa forcibly pulled Maria's arm and got off, almost dragging her daughter along. Maria didn't stop crying. Rosa took her to the end of the platform and hit her cheek again. At the moment she was hit, Maria stopped crying for an instant, but before long she shouted and cried even more than before. Overwhelmed with emotion, Rosa grabbed the nape of Maria's neck and dragged her, tugging at her hair. Ooh. Mama, it hurts. Mama, it hurts. Ooh. Didn't I tell you to shut up? That oohing of yours. I told you to stop. That's the reason you can't make friends in class, right? Get a hold of yourself. Why are you still a kindergartner inside your head? Why can't you do what Mama says? Why? With those severe words, Rosa hit Maria's cheek over and over again. The more Maria cried and shouted, the more Rosa hit her. And the more Maria was hit, the more intensely she cried and shouted, Mama, it hurts. Mama, it hurts. Mama, save me. Mama, save me. Ooh. Why can't you stop saying ooh? This is exactly why you can't make friends. This is why Papa's business trip never ends. This is why excuse me, ma'am. Is everything all right? Do you want something? The one who timidly called to her was the station attendant. Rosa glared at the attendant with a look that said, don't butt into problems of a mother and child, stranger. Of course, the attendant surely hadn't wanted to get involved either. However, Rosa had been yelling on the platform for a much longer time than she had imagined. Her emotional scolding had led the passengers on the platform to advise the attendant to call out to her. Rosa yelled at the attendant, saying not to worry anymore, since they'd be getting on the next train. And then finally, or rather for the second time, she noticed the passengers on the platform staring at her from a distance. Rosa sweat slightly and felt a breeze that made her sweat go cold, tormenting her. Maria still kept on crying, shielding her own head. Of course, if this beating continued, she'd probably keep crying indefinitely. I did it again. As the terrible heat in Rosa's head faded, she knew she had surrendered her soul to evil again. Mama, come back. Ooh. Rosa fell to her knees and hugged Maria, whose face was soggy with tears and mucus. Maria, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Mama, welcome back. Welcome back. Finally, Maria realized that her mother was her mother again. She clung to her mother's body and cried, burying her face in her mother's chest. "Forgive your bad mama. Forgive your bad mama. I'm so sorry. Please don't hate your mama." "Oh, I'm just fine. Won't hate mama. Mama was only being possessed by the bad witch again. But you came back, so I'm just fine. Yeah, that's right. Mama was just being possessed by the bad witch again. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." For a long time, the two of them hugged each other and asked for and sharing words of forgiveness. After a while, they calmed down and both moved back at the same time. Maria's face and Rosa's face were both deep red after crying their eyes out. "Do you want to have a Halloween festival, Maria?" "Yeah. I wanted to show those pumpkin marshmallows to George Oni-chan and Jessica Oni-chan." It was a candy that they'd been selling near the cash register at the shop where they had eaten breakfast. A fancy sweet that had a big orange marshmallow in the shape of a jack-o'-lantern attached to the tip of a stick. Maria had wanted it and had insistently pestered Rosa for it. Rosa had refused, saying that there was no way she could buy sweets right after breakfast. Then Maria, "I don't know if they sell those in the town or not, but let's get off and try searching for them, okay?" "Yeah. I love you, Mama. I love you so much." "Thank you." "I love you too, Maria." The truth was that they didn't have time to waste loitering around a stopover station. If they missed the airplane, they'd have half a day behind schedule. She should have left home with more time to spare, but she'd ended up leaving late after choosing Maria's clothes. Because of that, Rosa had been a bit impatient since the morning. She looked at the clock. They had to get on the next train immediately, but her daughter firmly joined hands with her to go buy the sweets with her mother, and that hand was warm. To Rosa, as she was now, it was more important to renew her bonds with Maria. To her, Maria was not only a beloved daughter, she was everything Rosa had. Fortunately, they could see a big supermarket right in front of the station. They might not be able to find exactly the same sweet, but Maria would probably be happy with a similar one. Besides, Rosa couldn't show up with a face swelled from crying. She must fix her makeup. Maybe we won't find a marshmallow exactly like that one, but hopefully we can find something like it. Let's go buy some and surprise all of your cousins together. Yeah, as long as we buy it together, any sweet is fine. They exited the turnstiles of the station in this unknown town. Maria walked across the pedestrian crossing together with her mother, chuckling to herself as though she was walking in an amusement park. Both faces were still deep red, but the two of them, mother and child, smiled warmly at each other without any restraint. "Dear, what are you doing in a place like this? Oh, it's you." Well, we'll end the video there. I should try to make short videos from now on. I have a tendency to go way too long in the videos. I hope everyone out there is having a great day, and I hope all of you have all of the hugs, head pats you could ever want, that you have a Merry Christmas when it does come, and that you are sleeping well, drinking plenty of water, and even though I am a bit of a tsundere, just wanted to say I appreciate you staying and listening for the video. Until next time, take care, and bye.